Start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Take massive action, get a little bit, fall off, stagnate, plateau, such as the life condition. Why is that? Why do we do that? Why do we start something that we felt a fire in our belly to do, and we get going, and then we stop? Why do circumstances get in our way? Why do we claim that we want something, but we fail to follow through with it? This is the biggest problem we have. We don't need to know how to do this. We don't need to know how. Watch this. I'm going to share with you the exact reason why we start and stop, and why it's the biggest condition that plagues entrepreneurs in this modern day, with all the access to all the information right at our fingertips. Okay, so here's the deal. Have you gone to a seminar and you took massive amounts of notes, copious notes, days of notes? I've been there. I was the seminar guy. I was the guy who sat in the front and had notepads upon notepads. And guess what happened? I had all the clearest intentions. I would bring that shit back to my office, my real estate office, and I would make bold declarations that I would actually do what I learned in that seminar and what I wrote down. And that inspiration lasted a few days. The notepad would sit there right on the corner of the desk. I'd look at it, I'd thumb through it. I would kind of get reinvigorated again. My mouth is numb because it's 30 degrees outside. And then I would eventually, that notepad, sadly, would end up off the desk and on the shelf. Once it hit the shelf, that became no man's land. Lost dreams and hopes, because in that binder, in that notepad, my handwritten notes were the answers to how to get moving forward in a different direction, in a better direction, how to make more money, how to sell more houses in real estate, how to have greater impact. That was the how-to part. So this really gets down to the heart of it. Why didn't I take action on what I learned? It's the same reason that most people do not. This is a staggering fact. You can go on and research this on your own. I have found in my years of being a high performance mindset coach, it's somewhere between 92 and 97%, somewhere in there. So you might want to land on the median. 95% of people don't follow through with what they claim they want in their lives. And that's a big problem, because that only leaves about 5% of the population that actually is getting what they want. They say they want it and they go after it. They set a clear intention, they move towards it until completion. The reason we don't get what we want is because it's not about the information. It's not the how-to part. It's what's going on here. The most valuable real estate in the real estate world and everywhere in the world is not that type of real estate. It's the 6 inches right between our ears. You may have heard this before. Hopefully I can say this to you in a slightly different way that has maybe a slightly more powerful impact for you. It is the thoughts we're thinking which cause us to feel in a certain way. Those feelings, so the thoughts in our brain, in our mind, we're thinking a certain thought. And if we entertain that thought and become emotionally connected to it, it sets up a certain feeling. The way we feel about things changes our attitudes. But I'll simplify this for you. It's the thought that changes, that affects the feelings. Our feelings guide our actions. Thoughts, feelings. So I point at my head here. That's the thought in the conscious mind. Feelings is when we feel a certain way, it becomes a part of our subconscious, because subconsciously we're feeling the essence of the thing. We're emotionally connected to it, whether it's a positive or negative thought. It becomes a part of us. It becomes a part of our vibrational frequency, if you know what I'm saying when I say that. We're emanating this. And so the more that we consciously focus on an idea, so let's say it's the goal, it's the state that we wish to attain, it's the thing we're moving after, it's big and bold and beautiful, you get out of bed every morning with fiery tenacity to go after it, and you become emotionally connected to it. Now it's a part of you. It's locked into you. Subconscious mind is in every cell of your body. This is powerful stuff to understand. So the thoughts lead to the feelings. Those feelings, now imagine if it's a negative feeling. Your thought, you're thinking a negative thought. Oh my God, I'm not going to win. Oh my God, I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to close that account. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. You become emotionally connected to the wrong thing. Focusing on the thing that you don't want is just going to bring more of what you don't want into your physical experience. You can call it manifestation. You can refer to the reticular activating system. It really doesn't matter how we look at it. All roads lead to the same place. You will bring more of those types of situations in your life. Fact, proven, objective, not some fluffy pie in the sky woo-woo bullshit that you might hear about. It's true. I've experienced this firsthand. And it wasn't until I started to change what I was focusing on, my thoughts, and the direction of what I wanted. There's a famous Penn study, University of Penn, that tracked people for like 25 years. And they asked them at the end of this period, Brian Tracy spoke about this in one of his books, what do you think about most of the time? And these groups are broken into successful, unsuccessful, or successful and failure groups. I don't think you're supposed to say that anymore, but anyway. And they found out that the successful people, when they asked them what they think about most of the time, they thought about what they want, how to get it, where they're going, how to get there. What they want, how to get it, where they're going, how to get there. Say that over and over again. Lock it into your brain. What I want, how to get it, where am I going, and how to get there. And the other group, the unsuccessful group, when it came to income, success, fulfillment, what do they think about most of the time? They thought about what they didn't want and what they're afraid of. Probably more damaging. Who's to blame for their current situation? Both past and present. So this brings to light the truth. What we think about most of the time, we become and we manifest into our lives. So our thoughts create our feelings, and that creates our actions. Our actions is what actually gets the results in our life. We can go to the seminars, we can read the books. I'm an avid reader. There's not enough time in the day to get all the information in my brain. I take information in from podcasts, from audiobooks, from physical books, writing, highlighting, speeches, seminars, all of it. But at the end of the day, if we don't assimilate the information and then go out in the world and use what we just learned, it just bangs around in our mind and then it just goes out. If there's no assimilation and no action orientation, it's for naught. And we only really retain about 3 to 5% of everything we learn through a lecture or through a video. So if you think you're going to be able to go out there and change the world, or to follow your passion, or to create big change in your income and your business by watching YouTube videos, think again. Thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. I call it TFAR in my coaching program, Infinite You. Link below if you want to learn more about my program that's launching in late January 28, 2026. This is what we talk about. This is what I share. And this is exactly why people are not getting what they want and how to actually change that. It's freaking November. Thanksgiving is next week. Whoa. If you were to go back to January 1st, 2025, first day of this year, and ask yourself, what do I want by the end of this year? Be honest with yourself. Are you where you thought you'd be? If you are, if you're past it, congratulations. You had a successful year. But being honest with yourself is an assessment and clarity on who you want to be, how you want to show up in the world, how you want to be for yourself, socially, what you want your finances to be like. How about your body? Are you moving? Are you in a fit shape? Do you have the body that you can laugh and play with your great-grandchildren someday? Whatever your aspirations are. How about spiritually? Are you connected to your higher power? These things matter. It's almost the end of the year. Don't let 2026 be a duplicate of 2025. And for most people, because our days are our lives in miniature, we just repeat over and over again because of the subconscious programming that we're completely unaware of. TFAR, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Once you get your thoughts going in the direction that you want, which requires a big, massive goal, and you start to become emotionally connected to it, oh boy, you start to feel a certain way about it, you will take action daily and off you run. And there's a stick figure right here that actually shows you this, and I teach you this in my coaching program, and that those actions produce results. Thoughts, feelings, actions, results. The results in our lives are amazing. They're beautiful. We're impacting people's lives. We're making a difference. We're making more money. We're more physically fit. Our relationships are stronger, and the world is better off because we came this way. Start thinking better thoughts. Learn about Infinite You by linking below, and go out there and actually take action today with aligned thoughts, feelings, and actions.